China, once proud of its enduring traditional family values, is now grappling with a silent crisis. Beneath the glittering skyscrapers of Beijing and Shanghai, alarming statistics reveal a grim reality: plummeting marriage rates and a skyrocketing number of single individuals. According to the China Statistical Yearbook 2024, nearly 240 million people remain unmarried, including over 100 million women, navigating a marriage market riddled with inequality and mistrust. Exorbitant bride prices, crushing economic pressures, and the hidden consequences of the Chinese Communist Party's CCP one-child policy are spiraling society into a vortex of crisis. Today we unveil the shocking, dramatic, and deeply human stories from China's marriage market, where love is priced in cash and trust is eroded by cold calculation. Bride price. The cost of love, or a ransom fee? In Jiangsu, a 30-year-old man named Li ended his 5-year relationship over a bride price dispute. The bride's family demanded $40,000, 0 cents, while Li's family could only afford $14,000, 0 cents. "I've worked tirelessly, but with a $600, 0 cents monthly salary, I'd need to save for 5 years without eating or drinking to meet their demands," Li said bitterly. His story is far from unique. In rural China, the bride price has transformed from a tradition into a high-stakes auction of pride. For women under 25, the price can reach $9,000, 0 cents. Past 30, it drops to $5,000, 0 cents, or even free for those deemed past their prime. But don't mistake this for opportunity. In urban centers, women like Ms. Zhang, a 35-year-old master's degree holder in Wuhan earning $140,000, 0 cents annually, demand that suitors buy a house, despite her owning one herself. When a Huawei employee rejected her as incompatible, Zhang fumed. "We're equals in education and status, why didn't he choose me?" His blunt reply: "Because I'd have to buy a house, and you're too old to have children." Bride prices, cars, apartments, once symbols of commitment, have become insurmountable barriers, turning love into a cold commercial transaction. Leftover women. Victims of society or their own expectation. In megacities like Beijing and Shanghai, over 4 million single women, labeled leftover women, face a harsh reality. Youth is their most valuable asset, and it's slipping away. Ms. Wang, a 32-year-old U.S.-educated master's graduate and former beauty queen at Shanghai Jiaotong University, is disheartened after dozens of failed dates in Shanghai. At matchmaking events for overseas-educated returnees, the male-to-female ratio is often 1:3, sometimes 1:10. Women with degrees from UCL, LSE, or Columbia are plentiful, but men prefer younger women under 30. A 29-year-old man earning $200,000, 0 cents a year explained, "My parents want grandchildren soon. Marrying a 30-year-old means she'll be nearly 40 by the time she has 2 kids. Too risky for her health." Behind these rejections lies a brutal truth. Chinese society, under CCP pressure, ties a woman's value to her age and fertility. Since 2007, state media like Xinhua and People's Daily have branded women over 27 who are unmarried as leftover women, blaming their choosiness while concealing the root cause: the one-child policy's gender imbalance, which has left urban women and rural men trapped in a cycle of loneliness. Leftover men, cursed by financial pressures. In rural Jiangxi, the story of Mr. Chen, 34, serves as a stark warning. Despite owning a small villa-style house and a car, he remains single. "My village has 60 unmarried men. The minimum bride price is 300,000 yuan, $42,000, 0 cents, not counting a house and car. Who can afford that?" he sighed. Earning $530.00 a month, Chen would need over 6 years without spending a cent to afford the bride price. What pains him more is society's disdain. They think we're poor, unworthy. But what about dignity? Can money buy that? In rural areas, the one-child policy's gender imbalance has left over 30 million men single, unable to marry due to financial demands. A 39-year-old blogger with a PhD earning $1,110.00 a month shared, "I don't dare marry. Raising a child costs a fortune. Milk powder, kindergarten, swimming lessons, piano classes. Without money, I'd only make my kids suffer." Meanwhile, in cities, young men like Chao Wang, 28, choose to lie flat. "Chasing girls costs money and time. If it doesn't work out, I lose everything. I'd rather stay single." Financial pressures not only trap rural men in bachelorhood, but also erode urban men's faith in marriage. The CCP's secret: the one-child policy and its hidden fallout. Behind the marriage crisis lies a truth the CCP refuses to acknowledge. The one-child policy, enforced from 1979, has caused a severe gender imbalance. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, there are 30 million more single men than women, a figure likely understated to mask an even bleaker reality. Once hailed as a population control triumph, the policy's legacy is a surplus of men in rural areas and women in cities. Since 2007, state media has scapegoated leftover women, labeling them picky to deflect criticism from policy failures. But the truth can't stay hidden forever. A report from the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences reveals that for every additional level of education, women marry a year later on average. Accomplished women like Ms. Zhang in Wuhan are branded too picky, while men like Li in Jiangsu are driven into debt by bride prices. The CCP's attempt to fix this with a two-child policy in 2016 has failed, as soaring housing, education, and healthcare costs push couples to remain childless, dink, or avoid marriage altogether. The secret is unraveling, but the cost is a society losing trust. The matchmaking market, a stage for shattered dreams. Picture a matchmaking event in Shanghai, where 30 glamorous women in elegant dresses vie for the attention of 10 men. The reality is even harsher. At an event in Hunan, 1,000 women showed up, but only a handful of men appeared. In Wuhan, 800 women paid 3,800 yuan each to attend a 5-star hotel dating event, only for no men to show up. Quality men don't need matchmaking. Men with lesser means don't come because they fear humiliation, an organizer admitted bitterly. Ms. Sa, a former teacher-turned-live streamer, sparked a heated debate with a 28-year-old follower who demanded a 500,000 yuan bride price and 2 houses. "Do you think you're a queen? Traditional Chinese women are gentle, kind, and humble. Which of those are you?" Sa challenged. The follower retorted, "If he can't afford 500,000 yuan, he's not a real man." This exchange isn't just an argument, it's a snapshot of the rift between traditional values and modern demands, where love is priced in cash and self-respect is crushed by unrealistic expectations. Generational clash, youth and absurd expectations. In Beijing, a matchmaker recounted a 50-year-old divorced woman demanding a 500,000 yuan bride price, a car, 3 gold jewelry pieces, and a husband to pay off her 200,000 yuan debt. "I'll bear his child, it's a fair deal," she insisted. Stunned, the matchmaker replied, "You're 50 with 2 kids and you demand this? Have you any dignity left?" Her response left him speechless. "If they don't agree, they can leave. I have plenty of suitors." This story highlights not just absurd expectations, but a generation of older women caught between reality and fantasy. Meanwhile, younger women, like a 28-year-old from Shandong, demand 500,000 yuan bride prices, claiming, "My parents raised me for over a decade. I'm worth it." When pressed about her high school education and lack of assets, she snapped, "That's my business. If he's poor, it's because he's a failure." Such arrogance traps her in a cycle of singledom and deepens the divide between men and women in Chinese society. The marriage economy, the trap of consumerism. Marriage in China is no longer just an emotional bond, it's a ruthless economic transaction. A young couple in Shenyang, earning 252,000 yuan, $34,550.00 annually, spent 185,770 yuan, $25,475.00 on school fees, mortgages, gas, utilities, and living expenses. They saved $9,000.00, but can't afford a second child. We're doing fine, but another kid? Everything's too expensive, the wife said. In Gansu, a young man, after paying a 288,000 yuan bride price, was financially ruined. In a public spat, he shouted at his wife, "You think 500,000 yuan is easy to earn? I haven't eaten properly in a month." Police intervened as he grabbed her throat, while she walked away, their 5-month marriage on the brink of collapse. Economists call this the marriage economy, where love is priced in houses, cars, and bride payments. The bigger trap is consumerism, subtly encouraged by the CCP, convincing young people that happiness requires everything from a $1 million North Bund apartment to a designer handbag. The collapse of trust, from love to contracts. Faith in marriage is crumbling. A 30-year-old man in Tianshui declared, "I can pay a 200,000 yuan bride price, but she must sign a contract. If she cheats, she repays 100%. If we divorce within 3 years, 80%. After 10 years, nothing." Harsh as it sounds, it reflects a stark reality. Men no longer trust women, and women doubt men's commitment. A story from Shenyang captures the marriage market's coldness. At a blind date, a woman born in 1994 said, "I'm only here to please my parents." The man, born in 1992, shot back, "Then go home. I'm here for a wife, not a friend." He stood, packed his takeout, and left without looking back. This isn't just an awkward moment. It's a symbol of a disconnected society where love is replaced by calculations and sincerity is seen as desperation. The shadows behind the facade of prosperity. China, with its veneer of economic superpower status, is hiding a full-blown crisis. Marriage rates have hit a 45-year low, with only 6 million couples registering in 2024. Down 20% from the previous year. Divorce rates are soaring, with 630,000 couples splitting in Q1 2025 alone. Urban leftover women, rural leftover men, and a vanishing faith in marriage paint a bleak picture. The CCP may blame picky women or inadequate men, but the truth is undeniable. The one-child policy, economic pressures, and rampant consumerism have created a society where love is priced in cash and happiness is a luxury. While subsidies for childbirth and marriage incentives are rolled out, they're a drop in the bucket against skyrocketing living costs. China's story today isn't just about marriage. It's a warning of a fractured society where the dark secrets of the past and present are slowly coming to light.